Hi, I'm Lisa McKenna, digital collage artist, Adobe Express evangelist, and the kind of person who sees a shape and immediately wants to break out of it. Today, we're talking about a technique I love for adding visual drama and movement to your work, making elements pop out of a defined shape. You've definitely seen this where images push past the borders of a shape, giving the whole thing a sense of depth and dynamics. This isn't a built-in feature in Adobe Express, but we're not here for built-in. We're here to bend the tool to our creative will. So in this video, I will walk you through how to mask your base image into a circle, which is one of the provided shapes in Express. Layer images outside the circle boundary so they feel like they're leaping off the page, and finesse the whole thing until it looks like it's very high end. So if you're looking to give your work some pop, this is the video to watch. Now let's go break some borders.
So you may have seen in a previous video I did where I tried to mask this collage I did into a shape that wasn't just a standard shape that comes with the Adobe Express. I wanted it to do something like this. And if you go to that video, you can see the troubles that I had because of the limitations that we have in Adobe Express. So what I want to do is show you something a little different that still gives us a little bit of dynamics effect, but also allows us to do it really fast and have success. So this is what I'm aiming for. This is a piece that I thought if I ever wanted to promote the collage, give it something that people might stop and think, oh, this is really interesting, as opposed to this. I could use it on a business card, a brochure, an Instagram post. I just think it captivates the eye a bit more than that. But I am going to show you how to do that right now. So what we're going to do is take this art. This is our original, of course. And we're just going to duplicate it. But what you're going to do is click on Option or Control Shift. So everything stays in place. Now you could also do it by clicking on the art and these three dots at the bottom and duplicate. Next up, we're going to double click on it, the image, and up pops the cropping options that we have in Express, which are very limited. And this is the issue I have with Express because I would love to see either custom, create your own shape, create your own, say, brushstroke, and have the artwork go directly into that shape. And you can see my complaints in another video about this. But anyway, so we're going to crop it into a circle. I think the circle is going to be the most successful for this art because I want to focus on her face and then pop all the animals and the shells and the flowers outside into the white space. So we're going to do circle and click off onto the side. What I do want to say actually is we're going to do something a little bit else here. We're going to pull everything up as much as we can. So I want to have as much of those animals, flora, fauna sticking out. Now there she is cropped. Now we're going to drag the original on top and we're going to put her behind the circle. And you'll notice because I moved the original when I had it in the cropping box, we had to do a bit of manual maneuvering here. I think that's pretty good. And don't worry that everybody's getting cropped off at the top because we're going to fix that. And next up, we're going to remove background and make sure it's the full art. We're going to move the background and that's it as far as the top. Now you can keep the bottom if you want. Now you notice if we go back to what it looks like, that's the original. So it's removing background on the whole art. What I like to do is bring it all the way to the inside. So we're going to double tap on it again, just to let you know I'm working on the desktop version. And we're just going to bring the crop up make sure you go onto freeform because that's what I wasn't in just at the moment. So tap on that freeform so we can get a custom crop. Don't touch anything up there. What we're going to do is just focus on making sure everything gets in at the bottom. And there you have it. So some fine tuning. We're obviously going to bring these guys down, pull and drag to put everybody together, and then see this group button and bring it down. You can ungroup by hitting this. You could group doing that. And then I believe you can do, no, they took it away. They just recently upgraded, which is lovely. And I do want to show you in the last video, we weren't able to do backgrounds. And I tried to do a sky and we weren't able to make it to look nice because of the challenges we had with the ability to get the full artwork inside the brush shape. So let's for sky, and why don't we do square so we're consistent. And this one I thought was really pretty here. So let's just pop it up so it snaps in place and bring it down and pop her behind that. I was actually calling this an album cover. Another thing we could do is because a little trick I want to tell you about grouping is when there's a group, let me show you. Where you see a number, that means how many items are in the group. So you could have multiple items within one group. So you want to tap on that in the layer, and then you can see the 2 items that are in the group. I want to do an effect to the circle. So we just make sure you have the circle outlined, and then we're going to hit effects. And I just want to put a tiny glow behind it just to make it look like it's hovering. And you can even change the color of the glow by clicking color and pick color picker. And you can even do something that's a little dark like that. Kind of loses it, but there. That's nice. Express isn't like perfect when it comes to removing background of these really detaily things, but if you just want to play around, I wouldn't recommend doing this if you wanted to do, say, high resolution printing, but I think it's a nice feature that you can play around with. Now, one more thing I do want to show you is another one that I did was with this art. You can do it with anything, obviously. And I wanted to see how it would look like with her head popped out. This is a collage I did. So we're going to do the same thing. Do a duplicate by holding Option Shift or Control Shift. Click on her. You can also crop by clicking on this button here at the top. And here's our options. I'm going to go with circle again, because I find it to be the most clean. And then let's bring it down, or bring her up rather. So she stands out quite a bit. Not quite, but we don't want her hanging out like that. She'll look like a lollipop. But what about there? And, oh, actually, you know what? You see how flat that is there? Let's go back in. We need her to come down. Might be hard for you to see, but do you need her to come down? Because right there, you'll see, right there, the full circle. So let's bring her sister in. I'm going to have to do the same thing. I'm going to have to manually put her in place. And why don't we remove background first before we do that? So this is like a really happy accident. I wanted to show you this because sometimes, like I said, removing background isn't so perfect, but she's a little off. But sometimes you get these little, maybe we should call them Easter eggs, where you get this beautiful shape that leads itself out. And then also it's a shape that works really well with the artwork. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this and can easily understand it. It's a pretty easy thing to do. And go off and play. Leave me any questions in the comments below.